Anybody around us? Speak to us now. So hi everybody, this is Paul Mancha. This is our first pilot, our first episode for After Dark Paranormal. This is a side project for the Silent Society of the Paranormal here from Del Rio. I'm the founder, and this is one of our friends, Misty, and she's going to tell us little things about the paranormal. This show is basically if anything or anyone that loves paranormal, has to do with paranormal, you lost somebody, or just things about movies and things like that that has to do with paranormal, especially The Conjuring. Go check it out. It's pretty good. It's worth your bucks. A couple of bucks. It's not going to hurt you. All right. The first thing I'll tell you, Misty, is how did you get into paranormal? And was it through a family member, or is it a family member that got you into paranormal?
Well, that's the weird thing. It kind of just found me. I was like 9 years old. Or well, I'd say probably 8. And my grandpa had died. We had lived together and he had died, and a lot of things started happening. Like you'd hear pots and pans going off in like the kitchen, and I couldn't go into that room anymore because I would physically feel like somebody was
like
there.
A presence. And
exactly. It just wasn't going to happen.
Did you feel his presence or somebody else's presence?
It wasn't his presence. Like, that was the weird part. It was just something dark and that did not want me there.
So his tragedy woke up your kind of a third eye point of view.
Pretty much, because after that, it was always like some sort of feeling or things would happen. Like I used to have toys like from the like the top all the way to the bottom of every single wall.
Oh, I'm a toy collector. I love all types.
And like one day I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, it's cool, and the shelf just falls, but all the toys fall right side up exactly how they were on the shelf.
And it's like Care Bears in Spanish, but backwards.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm 9, and I'm like, what the hell happened? And then, lights would turn off, just things would happen. It used to scare the hell out of me. I couldn't even like sleep by myself. I had to sleep with my grandma or my mom, and then I just got into it though, because like later on, you just get to that point where you're like, what is this?
Yeah, you try.
So I try and figured it out.
So that's kind of basically how it started, from a death in the family. So did you try reading books about trying to feel the point of view where this type of sixth sense can lead you to help other people, or?
I just wanted to know what it was about, because I never saw anything. I only saw of course movies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know, and like for the longest time I'm just like, oh, I'm a witch. Oh. And I was like, that's gonna be cool, I'm a witch, like The Craft and stuff.
Well, basically it was like the gothic years, or wearing black. And
So I just went and bought a bunch of candles and started getting like Wicca books and going, I'm a witch, because I just assumed that was what I was here for.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then none of it made sense to me. But then when I think it was...
And this was like in your teen years.
Yeah. And then I think I probably was 16 or something. I had this like pool party, and my uncle, he was into all that sort of stuff, but he never really talked to me about it. But he's like, you know what? I saw these and you really needed them. And he gave me a pack of tarot cards he bought me.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, well, here. And I was like, oh my God. I was like so happy. But like the weirdest part is I knew exactly what to do. So I had my birthday party, and I just started going at it and telling these people everything. And like, of course, they got scared, and girls were crying, and people wanted to go home and like never talk to me again. But then after that, just like I knew. But the weirdest part of that was my grandma decided to talk to me. She just sat me down and she's all like, well, I need to tell you something. She's like, this is kind of something that's in the family. Mm-hmm. She's all like, but yours is really different, because she could tell you, she would have such vivid dreams that if you had a call from her
Yeah.
or my uncle, you better listen to them, because she would tell you, look, this is what's going to happen, this is what you have to do, this is how this person is, and everything would be correct. But she was very religious, you know, so that was even more thing that's like she
On
didn't
the Christian point of view?
Yeah,
or?
exactly. It's like she didn't talk so much about it because she felt it was a curse.
Oh, like a little taboo type of thing.
Exactly. But my uncle got more into it, and he was just more curious. It's like, oh, what can you do? And stuff. And I don't know, it just kind of came so naturally. It's like, I can just read people.
Well, from using your, I guess, your sixth sense point of view, is there a time frame that you use your sixth sense and you actually help somebody out? Or you're trying, from that transmission or transform of a certain ability, did you start wondering, okay, I can do more with this?
Well, yeah, because like first, like you start to know things, and then you start to research things. So then I got into the books real bad. I was like, I gotta learn everything. I want to learn everything, even if I can't do it, I want to know about it. And my brother was growing up with me. He's like a year or two younger than me. So now we're growing up together, and things are happening to him. He's freaking out because he's seeing ghosts in his dreams. Like, they're coming to him, they're talking to him, he's freaking out. He's in the bathtub, and I remember he got so scared. He comes to me, and like I already knew what was wrong with him, because I always like, we had like this connection like that, and I was like, oh, what happened, you know? And he's like somebody came to me in the shower and stuff. And he's always been too afraid though, so it's kind of different. I guess like I've never been that afraid of it, so I guess it helped a little more. But like I was like, you know what, we're obviously here for a reason, because I do believe in God and stuff. So I was like, I must have this for a reason. And when I started reading more people, because I'd be in high school and everyone knew me as like the palm reader and stuff. They're like, oh, the palm reader. And in reality, I don't actually read like all the lines. I don't know how. I'm not a gypsy, and I didn't practice it or anything. But I've realized if you tell someone to do that and they give you their palm, it's like they're opening up themselves to you, as opposed
it's like they're opening their mind, basically.
Exactly. And I feel it's a little more respectful because I'm asking permission.
True.
And they're giving it. Because I could read you anyways, but I can't, some things I can't unless you let me.
Unless you welcome to it.
Exactly, because everyone has their walls up.
Oh yeah, like
and
walls
if
of
you
Jericho.
let them down when you want someone to read you, you let them down.
Yeah,
and it's
a lot of
really
people
weird.
put their like a little force field type point of view, and the reason why is because too many people have been hurt, or it's how they've grown up, and it's just a normal thing, and that's basically the ad norm now. Everybody can put anything on Facebook, but they can't tell you things straight up.
Exactly, and that's what, I'm not gonna lie, that's what aggravates me so much, because when I meet people, it's always, and it's not on purpose, but I always find someone who is just deeply broken in some way, and you would think nothing of these people because they're perfectly normal, they're out there, and I'm just like, oh cool, I choose who I bring into my life because of these energies. And I feel these energies, and they're good energies, and then every single time this person ends up being really broken, but I've realized I can help these people, and it's not changing them, because I don't feel like people are there to change other people.
Sure.
You just have to bring the real them out, because somebody sometime messed that up for them.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this generation is really different from all types, but if you actually think about it, this generation is almost the same thing as all generations. It just now we are more fluent with so much technology now that you can Google everything. And the time frames when I started learning about my type of sixth sense, it was by books or by grandma or somebody in the family, mostly with what they call it is like what they used to call the kitchen type of witch. Is mostly learning the herbs and the herbals and stuff like that. And even though that grandma used to be killing the chicken in back of the, or whatever reasons for the blood, or of course they're making boiled meaning chicken for those non individuals. And but yeah, I mean everybody has a strange start, but I think it's kind of cool when people use their ability for whatever reasons. I mean, of course, when you're a teenager, you're going to use your abilities, your sixth sense for certain things because you're still a teenager,
Like I'm going to find out my crush by making the spell happen, and then I'm going to make him like me.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, and that's the generation point of view, and Another thing, have you found something different from learning more now than the stages that you're learning beginning? Even though like back then, of course, power of the internet or whatever, there wasn't so much information back then. Is it now that you can start learning like, oh look this, I didn't know this, and it's because of the power of the...
Well, most of it is kind of living life and learning from it, the feelings, because mostly everything with Sixth Sense, it's feelings, that's what it is, and you have to learn to control it. And
so you try to find other people that have those type of Sixth Sense so you can learn.
I try, and that is the most difficult thing, because I've realized letting someone else know I have these things is also very dangerous.
Yeah, you're opening up to other people that can actually grab and
exactly, and you don't know what they can do. And if you tell them everything you can do, then you don't know. What
they used to call back in the old days a psychic vampire.
Exactly.
Where they draw your energy and now they absorb your energy point of view. It's nothing like MK, meaning Mortal Kombat or anything like that. It's more like a spiritual point of view. Yeah, I've seen people do that in front of my eyes and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool, to tell you the truth, back then, seeing that type of stuff. Not cool for the person, but cool for the individual. Have you seen more types of people that open up to you, more guys or more girls, or?
Definitely guys for some reason. Like, I would say, like, literally, I'll go and I will just sit with any guy and I will learn so much. Like, it is a ridiculous amount of information. I've had people just sit there and cry and tell me everything, and this is just meeting me, and they're like, well, I don't know why and stuff, and I realized just how I am, and I mean, I guess they just have to get it out, and I fully don't understand like what draws people to me. I mean, I guess it could be my energy, but I mean, I've just realized that. But girls will tell me stuff, but they want advice. They always want advice, and that is the most draining thing, and I can't ever explain to them that, because it's like they want to know everything. And
not dissing any of her friends or
no, of course, but it's just the same thing. They just want to know, I guess what everybody wants to know. It's like, when will I get married? Will I do that? And that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and I was like, I can read your palm and I can read things, but it does take energy out of me, and I'm going to get tired, and sometimes I can't control what's going to happen because your energy is coming through me when I'm reading you. And
you done any paranormal work, basically with any teams or by yourself, or?
I'm never with a team. I can't say I don't work well with others. It's just that they don't focus on other things. They want to know so much about me and and things like that I'm just like, no, this is what we're here for, and they don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. I really can't.
So mostly like a solitary point of view.
Pretty much. If I feel something there, I want to know. So, I mean, I'll do the pictures. I go and I take pictures and stuff like randomly. And I've caught a lot of things. One time I did actually, and I wish I brought it, but I was at my grandma's house, not my grandma's house, my godmother's house. And her mother had died when they were little, and nothing had happened at their house until I got there. And they would get scared because like this one box would always move for some reason, and then like this vase would move. It was just those two things, and I was like, you guys are probably just I was like, you guys are messing with me. It's cool. You know what I'm into. You're lying to me. Because, some people do that.
Yeah.
And so, but one day it just snowed, and like it never snows in San Antonio.
Oh, so yeah. Never snows here in Texas.
I was like, oh my God, it's snowing. So I go out and I'm like, I'm taking pictures. I have no desire for paranormal thing when I'm out there. I'm just, it's snowing.
Yeah.
I come in later and I'm like, holy nuts. I found like a perfectly shaped angel.
Oh, really?
Just hanging above the car. And most time I wouldn't even think, that's just an angel. But no, like you could see like the wings and everything.
That's pretty
and you can tell that it was like a woman. So I'm pretty sure, like just with the feeling, I know that it was their mom that was there.
Like
so
their guardian
them,
angel.
and I told them, and they're like, that's my mom. You know
cool.
what I mean? So I would assume that you would know those things too because of the energy that they bring.
So you come across, like, say for instance, you're going to the store and then suddenly somebody's talking about a family member, and then you'll be walking around, minding your own business, and then suddenly it clicks in your mind about that family member. Do you go out and talk to them, or you just keep to yourself?
I usually keep to myself. I did though. I've done it before, where I've like went up to people, and it's not always a good thing because people always react differently.
Well, of course.
But I was in this bead shop once, and it was the weirdest thing because I'm looking for beads. They had millions of them, so I'm looking all individually. And this woman, she's talking about her kid. I don't even remember what she was saying, but I just felt like I knew her.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. So I was like, let me listen in. And she's talking about her kid being in a sandbox or something. And then the other woman's like, oh, I hope he's alright or something. And I just went up to them, and I wish I remembered everything I said, but it was like 7 years ago.
Oh.
So I'm in there, and I'm just like, I have to go talk to them. And my friend's all with me, and she's like, no, don't. Like, you're going to freak them out. Like, no. And I was like, but, like, I feel like I need to. Like, you know when you have to tell somebody something. And I was like, hi, I'm Misty. I don't know how to explain this, but I'm going to tell you this. And I was like, and at first I always start with, like, look, I believe in God and stuff. I'm not like some saint worshiper, because you kind of have to at this time.
You gotta, you gotta be upfront and tell people.
Exactly. So I was like, but I really feel like I need to tell you this, and I just started telling her. I don't see. That's what the thing. When I start reading people, or when I know things, my mind, I don't know where I go.
No.
But it just comes out,
No.
and I just started telling her everything and all this stuff, and
How
afterwards she was just like really true. She's like, oh my God, like, how'd you know that, and who are you, and
you're the IRS, why are you doing this?
Exactly. And I was just like, and afterwards I was just like, I didn't even know, like, it felt like, at first it felt like all this pressure and responsibility, but then once I told her, I felt just like peaceful, and I was like, now, you know what, I want to go to bed. I want a soda and I want to go to bed.
You feel more calm and collected because you told somebody how they really should need or feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the coolest part is, I know what I do remember is that it was something to do with them being sick and having spiritual, something wrong spiritually in their house. And like I said, I kind of blank out when that happens.
Yeah.
But from what I found out later, because they had ran into me at like some Walmart I was working at, and they're like, oh my God, and like these people just come hug me. I'm like, who are you? And they're like, you don't remember me? Like, you gave me this spell.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, hold on, what? She was like, yeah, you gave me this spell, and you told me this would help the energy that was with my kid and all this stuff. And I was like, really? And I was like, I couldn't even remember what spell I even, because I don't have like a book of spells and stuff. But she's like, and it worked. She's like, all this stuff worked. Everything you told me was true.
That's
and
cool.
I've done it a couple of times where I'm just like, you know what, do this. And I will just write something down.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, here. And it'll be like some weird spell. And it always works. But
That's
I've
cool.
never been taught that. And I've never really...
You just like blank out.
Yeah, I blank out and I just know what to tell you.
Oh, wow.
And then afterwards, I'm just like,
So
I'm never going to remember it.
But you feel like drained out.
Yeah, I'm always drained out, and I feel like I went somewhere else, and now I'm back, and I'm just sitting there like...
That's kind of neat. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, like, as a lot of people, mostly when they use their special type of gift or their sixth sense, it's always like from a family member passed down, or it skips. I always call it the curse. You know, I know not everybody family has that gift where they can actually see ghosts or stuff like that, or when they take pictures. You can have 5 photographers, and out of all those 5 photographers, maybe 2 or 3 those people can actually have or see ghosts. And it's not it doesn't happen all the time, it just happens certain times. You know, and when I do see stuff or whatever, it's a paranormal point of view. And one of the reasons why we made the group in the beginning is so we can help individuals. The group is mostly a lot of individuals that has been in the group or has still part of other different groups. We try not to base ourselves as the individuals who started, even though there's only 2 founders. Kind of 3 founders, but 2 founders for me and Barbara Olguin, well, now Barbara Vasquez because she's married, and Sabrina Hernandez was the second. Those were the original founders, because we were just out of the, we found something very good at one point, and that's what we're making a documentary right now. I'm not going to mention too much. I don't like to jinx certain things sometimes. But they said it's one of the small trailer that we're going to promote in a couple of months. and hopefully we get it ready for film festivals. If we don't, the first small trailer will be out for the RIO Comic-Con in November. That's when Bar will be here. The ones that have been helping us out, that's Belen Rios, Veronica Campbell, Stitch, and she's the ones that are the group for here at RIO. Barbara has her own thing going now over there in North Carolina, doing the Civil War ghost over there, and there's, like I said, RIO to compare to the Civil War, not close. But like I said, each paranormal is actually pretty good in any level and any stage. It can be a small house in New Jersey or something, and you can still find something pretty good. Our main purpose for Science Society of the Paranormal is not anybody or any gender or any kind type of spirit has no form, like they say. Each spirit has all types of forms, but for us, when we see a spirit, we're not just seeing a female or a man, we see the spiritual within, and that's what we're trying to help the individuals now. We've been a group for the past 2 or 3 years. I've been doing paranormal since the early 90s, but strong since the 2000s. And a lot of videos that have been out there, I guess, with me or some other individuals, other websites from other groups, and now actually love this group. Not because I'm the founder or anything. I think this has a good point of view of other investigators or friends coming in from different groups and helping each other out, because sometimes when you have certain groups, everybody has certain levels that they're only good for, I guess, under certain groups. Within this group, actually you bring whatever type of level you know, how strong you are from using any type of certain equipment, and our main focus, like I said, is helping the individual out, but at the same time is you're learning the fundamentals of paranormal from the old within all different cultures. The thing is that now these days is we're finding so much different point of view of old, I guess from Greek, from Japanese, from Egyptian, from all types of cultures from paranormal, that we're trying to make it as a one point of view. A lot of people don't go too much in that field. They just want to capture what is in front of them and that's it. I think it's a learning ability. It's like taking a class. It's a never-ending course to individuals. Like I said, this is one of the episodes that it's a pilot. Hopefully we'll put it up in a web series. It'll probably be on Tuesdays or on Wednesdays, and we're trying to find other individuals. Anybody else wants to be in the show. It doesn't matter if you are a Sixth Sense or you know anything of paranormal, or you have an incident that happened of paranormal, or you just want to talk about paranormal and movies, especially like The Conjuring and everything like that. Give us a call, or look up in Facebook on Science Society of the Paranormal, or on our website. So this is the first one here at the Annex from the Casa Cultura here in RIO, Texas. We'll be filming in other locations. We give a thank you to Lupita La Paz and the other individuals that lent us this place for today. And we thank Misty for being the first victim into the first pilot. I wanted her to be in other shows, like for Ghost Hunting episodes, and I promised her she could be in the first one for this pilot one for the After Dark Paranormal. You will get to see other little behind the scenes from old videos that we still haven't put out there in Facebook or on the YouTube. So like I said, we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks.